Hello guys, in the last video I have shown you how to use switch cases in C++. Now in this video I'm going to talk to you about loops and I'm going to show you how to use for loop in C++. That's the most basic type of loop in C++. So let's see how we can declare for loop and how we can use for loop. So for the declaration of the for loop, the declaration syntax looks like this. So what you do is you write for and just give these two parentheses, and this for takes three parameters. First is the initialization, and then it is separated by semicolon. Second is the condition, and third is the increment. Okay, and in these curly braces you provide the code you want to execute according to the condition which is met in the loop. So let's take an example. I'm going to declare a loop. So I will write here for, and I will give these two brackets, and I will give these two curly braces, which is the basic syntax of for. Now I'm going to declare the initialization first. So for example, I will take integer int I is equal to 1. Then I will separate it by semicolon. Then I will give the condition. So for example, I want to give the condition loop till my condition reaches 10, for example. So I is less than or equal to 10. Okay. And then the third condition is the increment. So I will give semicolon once again, and I will should say I plus plus. So this means that we are incrementing I by 1. This is just like saying that I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. So this is this and this is same. So we are incrementing I by 1 every time it sees the condition. Oh, it's less than 10 still. It increase the I by 1. Now we will output our variable I. So I will say cout I, and once again endl. Okay. Now I will build the program and let's see what happens. I will run the program, and you see what happens here is it's looping. So it goes to the for loop and it initializes I is equal to 1, and it goes into the execution of for loop, and it prints 1, and once again it goes back to for loop and increment it by 1, right? So what's happening? I is equal to 1, it prints it, it increments it by 1, goes to the loop once again. Now this time I is equal to 2, and it sees condition which is less than 10, 2 is less than 10. Then it prints 2 once again and increment I by 1, which is I is equal to 3, goes to the condition once again, and it sees yes, I is equal to 3 is less than 10. So it prints 3 once again, and this loop happens until 10 is printed, and then it goes to the loop once again and sees okay, now I is equal to 11, which is not fulfilling this condition. I is less than or equal to 10. So I'm not going to print this, and I'm going to break the for loop, and I'm going to go out of the loop and return 0. So this is printing these values of I one by one until this condition is met. Okay. Now there is one more thing you can do with the for loop is to decrement the value. It's not necessary that you need to increment the value every time, and it's also not necessary to increase the value by 1. You can increase the value by 2, or you can initialize the value by something else. So let's see. Let's initialize I by some other value, for example 6, and I will say the condition would be I is less than or equal to 60, for example, and I will increase this I by 5. So I will write I plus equal to 5. That means increment the value of I by 5 and assign it to I. Okay. So once again, when I build my program and run it, you can see it's showing me 6 for the first time and increase this 6 by 5. So 6 plus 5 is 11, and then it sees the condition, okay, 11 is less than 60, so I'm going to increase it 5 once again. Then 16 is less than 60, so I'm going to increase it by 5 again. So in this way you can initialize your I by any value, and you can increment this I by any value, and you can give any condition uh, which can be equal to, or which can be less than or greater than, or whatever value. The second thing is you can decrement the value of I also. So let me show you this example also. So for example, I initialize I is equal to 10, and I want that I should print until I is greater than or equal to 1, okay, and I will decrement I by 1 every time. So I will say minus minus, and this minus is just like I is equal to I minus 1. Okay, so this like I is just like you minus the value of I by 1, right? So now what will happen? Let's see. Let's build the program and run it. And you can see this time I starts from 10 because we initialize the value of I as 10. So it prints 10 and it goes to the loop once again, and it sees, okay, I is equal to 9 this time because we minus 10 by 1, which is 9. So I is equal to 9, which is still greater than or equal to 1. So I will print it once again 9, and once again this loop will happen and happen until 1 is reached, and the condition will be false then, right? So in this way you can use for loop in C++. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.